SharkyBreath.
He plays video games.
Hello and welcome back to Disco Elysium. I feel like my voice is a little junked up today and I'm not sure what to make of that. But anyway, welcome back. Here we are, in the fishing village. Couple of thoughts real quick. First off, thought related. I was looking through the thoughts that I've got here, and I think if I do get to the point where I'm at some point I'm going to need to start discarding old thoughts and starting up new ones. Just, you know, to kind of optimize things. Plus I want to see all the text that it has to offer with all these thoughts, you know. I'm thinking White Morning, maybe the first one I'm going to dispose of, because the zoom out distance and motorix caps, like my motorix are already pretty decent, and zoom out distance, like I think it's just that, right? Like maybe there's something that you can see at the edge of your at the edge of your vision that you wouldn't be able to see otherwise. But I'm guessing it's not going to be a big deal. I don't know. Let me run over here with the thing zoomed all the way out and see if it makes any difference, right? Since this is ostensibly the edge of the map. Okay, it's a black void out there. There is specifically nothing out there. Okay. In which case, yes, I do suspect that I'll be swapping out White Morning when it comes to it. I'm just not too worried about my motorix. Now, my intention here is to continue exploring north of the Fisherman Shacks, because I haven't been to any of this, and that does seem to be a thing to do. But first, I want to test something real quick. So it is currently 2:33. If I'd fast travel over here, no time passes. Well, that is remarkably useful. I mean, that matched with what I understood of how time works in this game, but, you know, I didn't want to make assumptions. Anyway, I want to call back on the radio because, here, check it out. If I go to my journal, the armor number thing, I first called in at 2:07 on Monday, and I'm wondering if you have to wait specifically 24 hours? So I'm going to try again now and see if they've got any information for me.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers.
Radio.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Did you find out more about the owner of the armored boots?
Still no word, I'm afraid, sir.
Ah.
I know it must be frustrating.
No, it's fine.
57, over.
In the cabin.
Well, thanks. Bye. Okay, worth a try, I figure. Worth a try. Anyway, back to the shacks. Did it take any time to do that call? It didn't, because I'd already seen that particular interaction. Well, that is useful. And this drops me right next to the other person I need to talk to, so that's convenient, too. Let me just look at this bucket first. Hey, tear. I love it. Okay, so what's this? What are these doing in the fish? What doing in the fish? What's going on? Oh! Franco-Nigerian cavalry boots, +1 perception. How do your boots aid your perception? Let me just have a quick look at this. Good old calf-length cavalry boots. Mount that horse and ride into the night. The heel comes in handy too. It definitely makes you some good 5 centimeters taller. But could it also be that it's making you sharper, more perceptive to your surroundings now that you've gained a new perspective? Because you're taller. 1+1 perception, a view from above. And what do my normal shoes do right now? +1 composure, -1 savoir-faire. My composure is a base 4, so it makes it a 5. That's almost a little unnecessary, right? Now, admittedly, my perception is decent. I'm at 7. But I feel like more perception, more better, right? Let's try them on. Nice. And now I'm starting to look a little bit military here, aren't I? Except for the blue jeans. But between the commander's jacket and the boots, and then now we got the metal gauntlets. I don't know. I don't know what I think. Anyway, hello there. There's a person here. Let's talk to this person.
Hi, officer.
Lillian, the net picker. A woman in a raincoat stands on the quay, considering an overturned boat. A sword in a scabbard hangs from her hip. Amazing. Continue.
Anything I can help you with?
As always, I am the Lawbringer. That depends. Where are we exactly? I've questions. The first is, what's your name? Move on. I'm good. Okay. The Lawbringer. That's new. That is new. I'm curious what you would have to say about where we are, but the Lawbringer? Is Kim gonna blow up at me at one of these times? I gotta keep pushing it, right?
You've graduated to Lawbringer now?
I have! The Lawbringer. Say you're the law 7 times. Apparently I have, Kim, yes.
Men with authority have their quirks. Comes with never being second-guessed about anything.
She waves you off. I mean, yes, but the game told me specifically to do that because I never get second-guessed about anything. How dare you second-guess me? Continue.
So what brings you here, Lawbringer?
I got a thought. Bringing of the law. Lawjaw. That depends. Where are we exactly?
A fishing village on the seashore. This place doesn't really have a name. It's sometimes called Elysium.
Elysium. She looks around. Why?
The sign on the street leading here is illegible.
Uh-huh.
Has been since they built this place.
The wind rattles her earrings. So, it's like a joke? Or does the sign appear to say Elysium? I wonder. Anyway, I've got questions. What is the first one? What is your name?
The name is Lillian. People call me Netpicker.
How come?
I think I have time for questions. And that was actually the second one.
It's true. You're not wrong. She gestures towards the fishnets. Okay, cool. Do you actually... So you... Oh, I see. Do you actually pick stuff out of the nets? Cleaning them off so they can be used again, type of thing? I wonder. Continue.
Indeed, you're always confused as to your whereabouts.
I just need a little clarification from time to time. I'm looking for someone. Maybe you can help? Idiot Doomspiral over there needs his jacket. Have you seen it? What do you do around here? Nice sword, pointed the saber on her hip. Does it come with a story? Is that your boat? Pointed the overturned boat, seeing you. I hope you will let me do all these things. What do you do around here?
Like I said, fish mostly. Sail the waves, take care of the kids, pick nets. Right now, I'm tarring a little skiff.
Right on. What else? Is that enough to make a living? What else? That seems like a lot already.
I sell the fish to people in the Delta to serve at their fancy restaurants. Authentic insular Indian cuisine.
That's it. That's a living, I suppose. Is that, in fact, a living? Is that enough to make a living?
Sometimes I also walk to the beach to see what the sea has given up. The sea is full of surprises.
Sure, continue.
Keep it professional, man. Don't make it sound like you're hitting on her.
I'm not interesting. What have you found? I've never thought the sea brought in anything particularly interesting. Walking on the beach sounds quite romantic. All right, I think I get it. Let me ask you something else. What have you found?
Wood, pieces of glass. Every once in a while we see dead bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Human, animal, fish, other odd sea creatures. A mine washed ashore once.
Alarming. Hopefully a disabled one. Continue.
Bottles, drugs also. Lost cargo in general. Most of the time it's just wood and glass.
I mean, that tracks, sure. She looks at the beach, by the way. Continue.
All right. Major choice moment. You only get to ask one thing. It would be weird to say them all. Choose wisely.
Why would it be weird to say them all? I'm specifically told to be weird all the time. I need to know about those human bodies. A mine? The RCM could use a mine. Where is it? Drugs? I need info on this. Major narc. Point to yourself. This place looks bad. Why don't you leave? Okay, enough about this place. The human bodies are going to be unidentifiable from the sea, almost certainly. There's not going to be much to say about them. They're almost as unremarkable as the other, animal carcasses around here, I would imagine, just based on the conditions of the area we find ourselves in. The mine, the RCM could use a mine. Could we? Could we use a mine? I'm not positive we could use a mine. I feel like I'd blow my hands off. I do not need info on the drugs. That is the I'm going to take the drugs option, and everybody knows it. This place looks bad. Why don't you leave? She seems, I don't know, if not happy, at least content. But, that's just the impression I get from talking to her for about 5 minutes. What do we ask about? I feel weird wanting a mine, but I am curious about it, I suppose. It does seem like it should be disposed of properly, I guess. I actually do want to know about the human bodies. Tell me about the human bodies.
Well, you're barking under the wrong tree then, officer. I have no interest in floaters. Seen enough of them in my life already. Very unattractive bunch.
I understand. Okay. And in fact, but she shakes her head, by the way. In fact, it does not give the option of even pursuing that line of questioning again. So indeed, I cannot ask about any of the other ones. And so it be. Okay. Can I ask about your sword? Does it have a story?
Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of story. It's to intimidate folks, mostly.
She smiles at her own joke. Hold on. Do you know how to use it? It is imposing, Nod. Isn't that what guns are for? It is imposing. I'm curious if she knows how to use it, but I don't really want a demonstration on me. Yeah, it's imposing.
It's a regular mass-produced sword, like a shovel or an axe. Nothing fancy, just for intimidation.
Sure. Why do you need intimidation tactics?
From time to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just the way it is. Back in the day, I caught the eyes of many men. And believe me, men need a lesson in manners from time to time.
She adds, tittering. I mean, that does happen. Can I borrow the sword? Why don't more women arm themselves if it's so effective? So where are all the men now? Huh. I'm guessing she's not going to let me borrow the sword, but, nothing ventured.
No, I'm afraid not. Tempting to confiscate the blade I used to keep these animals in check. You would put me in an early grave.
Her eyes are smiling as her hand moves to the hilt. Yeah, that's about what I expected. So why don't more women arm themselves if it's so effective? Question mark. Maybe they do? What do you know about it?
What makes you think we haven't?
That one.
The truth is that almost everyone in this life is scared and tired and stupid and too dull for that.
She smiles. But that's the only thing happy about what she just said. But, she's not wrong. Continue.
That goes for men too. But they put on an act for us. Pretend like everything's good and living in shit doesn't bother them. Like anyone falls for that.
Behold, point to the expression on your face, except that I don't have the expression. I'm a proper man, believe me. True, most people I've met are scared. I don't have the expression. I just look sad. And if I actually choose this, I'm actually a little bit worried that the expression would remanifest. And while I do just look sad sack all the time now, I honestly don't necessarily want to go back. Most people I've met are scared.
No one wants to talk about how frightened they are. But only frightened people are really dangerous. And plenty of them are dangerous.
This is true. So where are all the men now?
Some went to patch their wounds, their lesson learned. Others were more thick-headed. And one of them, I ended up marrying.
She looks down. Wait, why? If they're thick-headed?
Guess I enjoyed the way he bled.
Her expression doesn't change. It's hard to say if it's a joke. Complicated. So where's your husband now?
Gone.
Ah.
The harbor seawall endures the wash of the freezing waves. Many things wash up against it and onto the beaches of Rivershop. Some inanimate, some just no longer alive. You shudder.
Gone where? I'm not sure if there's a point in even asking. Gone? Coward? I would never leave anyone. He disappeared. Sounds like a missing persons case. I'm gonna just say gone where?
To the waves. The sea took him. It was a long time ago.
That's bad. What happened? Oh, her eyes stop in yours also. Oh, say no more. Wait for her to continue. He died. Was he murdered? I feel like I shouldn't push this one. I should let her take it at whatever pace she's comfortable with. Wait for her to continue.
He didn't respect the sea. Went out there, drunk like a skunk, and sure enough, one day the boat was found floating empty. The bloated corpse turned up 2 weeks later.
Gotcha.
Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago, and I've moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles.
Yeah, death is nothing. I shit on death. You should have thrown yourself in the waves after him. Nods sagely. Time really is the best cure for sorrow, isn't it? It's healthy to let go and move on. Gotta keep the wheels spinning. Okay. 1 and 2 are right out. I don't care. I'm sorry. I'm not doing it. Neither of those are helpful or useful or good. She might have some interesting things to say about number 2, but I'm not going to say it. Time is really the best cure for sorrow, isn't it? I don't know if I'm the best qualified person to say that. It's healthy to let go and move on. Got to keep the wheels spinning, sure, but I haven't. Well, let's just say it anyway.
Us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. I buried him, mourned for an appropriate amount of time, and went on.
She crosses her arms. An appropriate amount of time.
Life didn't really change that much for me and the kids.
She glances at the village where 2 little kids are playing with what look like rocks. Oh, the twins are yours! Does that mean... Oh, Lillian! Right. She's the mother of the twins. Got it. And little Lily in the house also. Got it. She glances... I already read that. Continue.
She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another.
No.
Better.
No.
Drunk.
No.
Ask her.
No.
Both of you could need some action.
No. Not doing it. Suggestion, Heroic 15. She needs to go on a date with another drunk badly. I'm just curious what these things say. Kim's present makes it awkward. -1. -6. Don't know a good spot yet. Explore the coast. +1. Carrying the amber dye. Strange. Excuse me. Strange that affects it. Huh. Anyway, I'm probably not going to do that. So I take it that's your skiff. Point at the overturned boat. That one.
Sure is. The sun, I call her. Coated with a fresh layer of tar just yesterday. It'll take some time for it to dry, assuming the sunny days continue.
I suspect you're right. If they don't, the way you worded it, it almost sounds like it would not take some time for it to dry if the sunny days continue. Maybe if it starts raining, it just will not dry, and then you're just SOL. Well, hopefully the sunny days continue then. Do I ask about the missing person or the... Yeah, let's ask about the missing person.
Let's see. Who are you looking for?
She tilts her head ever so slightly. I'm looking for missing cryptozoologists. That's the one.
I don't think I know what these are. Care to elaborate?
She frowns, thinking. People who look for imaginary animals. People who look for animals who are hard to find. People who look for animals mainstream scientists deny exist. This one could be taken two ways. The animals are hard to find, or the people who look for the animals are hard to find. I shouldn't need to be thinking about this so hard. This is the disadvantage of recording these so early in the morning. My brain is only sort of spinning up, but it almost feels in character. Let's see. And... if I say this, I feel like my partner here is going to pipe up. But then again, if I don't say this, who is he going to play straight man to, you know? So to speak.
Aha! Like snowmen.
She exclaims. Snowmen? I haven't heard about those.
2 odd guys have been wandering around here. Nose in sand, talking nonsense about snowmen and the like.
That sounds about right. Wait, the like? Where did they go? What do you mean? Are we questioning her turn of phrase?
Right. Not only snowmen, also green men, monkey men, burning rhinos.
Burning rhinos?
You get the picture.
I do get the picture. Continue.
Oh, you're getting it. And it is gorgeous.
Nice. Conceptualization. +10 experience also healed up. Man, being an art cop's amazing. Where did they go?
I don't really know. Further down the peninsula, I guess. I mean, that's where they were heading.
She points north.
Who else are you looking for besides snowmen?
Yeah, I'm not. That's it. I'm not looking for anyone else right now. Continue.
Well, how can I assist you then, officer?
I'm looking for someone else, actually. I'm not. Idiot Doomspiral over there needs his jacket. Have you seen it?
Remarkable. That one already lost everything else, and now his jacket too.
So you've heard the story too, huh? She shakes her head, by the way. Continue.
It's a good thing, too, that he has an actual police officer looking for it. Good old Doom Spiral. Upper management to the core.
A smile lights up her face. Continue.
That's odd. Is she actually impressed?
I'm just trying to help out a stranger in need. No one plays Johnny Jacket. I find it. I keep it. I'm collecting evidence to charge him with petty theft. I don't really know why I do things. Everything just happens to me. I wonder what her reaction is here. I mean, I probably would if I keep it if I found it. But I might bring it back to him. I don't know. I'm not going to charge him with petty theft. I'm not quite that hard up. I don't really know why I do things. Everything just happens to me. It almost seems like there should be a Kappa trope for this sort of helpless fatalism. And maybe there is, and I just haven't been choosing the options enough. I don't know. I'm just trying to help out a stranger in need, though.
How sweet of you. It really is. I check around the abandoned fish market on the boardwalk. Drunks are inexplicably drawn to markets. Might be why they have such trouble staying in business.
I suppose it's possible. Continue.
A phenomenon that the spectral hand theory of the market fails to account for.
Yeah, maybe we should check in with Doom Spiral about that. I'm guessing we will not change his mind. Continue.
If one of them lost something, that's as good a place to start looking as any.
I reckon you're right. I will be seeing you. I'm not going to be seeing you. I'm not going to. I'm just being a pain at that point. And admittedly, being a pain is part of what I do. Take money. Cool. There was the yellow thing? There it is, yellow thing. The planks creak beneath their weight. I suppose they do. Can I look at the... This boat is floating freely in the water, unmoored. Okay. This one here is her skiff. This one here that's flipped over so that it could be tarred. I see. Very good. Very good. Ladder. The ladder leads to a school of fish swimming in the kelp. Neat. I'm assuming I can't particularly swim, huh? That would seem to be a safe assumption. Oh, right, I got a thought. Let's have a look at my thought. Bringin of the law. Law jaw. Look at that jaw, my goodness. -1 rhetoric. Weird jaw. Hey, so little observation. It's all cool, man. Don't freak out. But every time you say, I am the law, and you say it a lot, it's basically hello to you. Your jaw does this weird thing. It sort of shifts sideways, hanging off your face at a jaunty angle, while the word law sounds oddly guttural and low. It's strange. You wouldn't notice it, but after saying you're the law 80,000 times, the question does come up. Why do you have law jaw? Interesting question. Huh. I'll have to bear that in mind. I mean, I am, currently, as we speak. I just may have to, bear it a little bit harder in mind. Okay, cool. So I talked to her. Where have I not been? I haven't been over here, have I? All there is down here is boatses. Not much to see there. That's fine. And over here is where I crashed my dang car, right? Oh, hey. Seems the walker was either very confused or drunk out of his mind. I can't imagine which it would have been. I also note that the footprints do head off towards roughly where the 3 drunkards would have been standing if they came to watch the spectacle, right? Maybe? Roughly? Why am I hearing... Did you hear footsteps off to the right? Am I making things up? I don't have my headphones on backwards. No, I don't. Okay. Sure, I don't understand what that was. Maybe there was nothing. Maybe it was just background sound effects and I shouldn't worry about it. Almost certainly that one. Okay. And I've been in there multiple times. We're good there. We're good. Okay. But I do want to go this way so that I can get back to where I was faster. Let me just do that. Maybe I shouldn't be talking this whole time so I could just fast forward through and you wouldn't have to watch me wander around like an idiot. But then again, what's this game about if not that? There we go. There we go. Okay, so if I want to go north from the village, I do have to go this way. Yes, here we go. Now we're in business. Okay. Kind of a muddy shore situation. All right. That's fine. Whoop. What do we got? A little black swallow circles above you. You hear it chirrup. This one here? There's 2 of them. Why do I only notice 1, I wonder? Those are them, though. They almost are flying fairly slowly for birds, but then again, if they rendered them any faster than that, I suppose I wouldn't be able to perceive them particularly well. Graphical limitations being what they are. What's this? The beams are splintered. The bridge didn't collapse on its own. Artillery broke it. I see. Where did it used to go? Can I get up here and investigate the area, or is that out of the question? Just too much tangled wood for me to do anything with. There's a box. There is a way up there. Can I just click it and hope that Harry figures it out? It seems like he's going to. What's this? The water runs from the west. The source is upstream. A broken pipe? Oh, that could be. I want to go here, though. I wish to go here. Unfortunately, if I tell Harry to just go to place and let him do it on his own, he does just walk. He will not run. I cannot force him to run under the circumstances. But still, let's see what he comes up with, yeah? Okay. We're heading up and around. I guess that makes sense. I see an ominous shadow. Hello there, sir. Are you an ominous shadow? It's a man and a child. Well, we'll deal with that whole situation later, I suspect. No, I want to go here, though. Oh, okay. We gotta go around. Okay, sure. Oh, there's a bunch of stuff up there. Huh. Well, I'm curious about that, but right now I'm on a mission. My mission says go this way. What's this? Box. Give me box. Nice. Nice. Free money. What's this? No boat in the boathouse today. This section of the coast hasn't been used in decades, you say. Wow, okay. Can I break this open? It looks like I could break this open. Is there a point? Oh! Oversized superstar sunglasses. +1 savoir-faire, -1 visual calculus. I see. I'll have to examine that. Plus morale medicine, which I can always use, given my approach to things. Is your own stardom too dazzling for your eyes? Can't bear to look at your own fabulous reflection in the mirror? Then these classic oversized sunglasses are for you. And right now I'm wearing +1 logic, -1 authority? Well, at least pop them on, yeah? Yeah, that's approximately what I expected they would look like. Let's see. Savoir-faire puts me to 5 savoir-faire, but it drops my visual calculus down, which it's already at a minus, right? My visual calculus? Why is it not showing up over here? Do I have something benefiting it, and they just cancel each other out so it doesn't show up? Let me take them off and see. I do. My commander's ejaculate, that would be doing it. And I have a -1 from thoughts right now. So I'm at 5, and I put those on, I'm at 4. I'm gonna just stick with these. Yeah, no, that's fine. I don't need authority right now anyway. Great, got those. Cool. What's this? Shack. The boathouse is shoddily constructed. A strong breeze might blow it over. Are you sure? It seems to be propped off of a tree. I feel like that would be difficult to just blow it down. $1.15. I mean, real. It's a real. It's not a dollar. I know. I'm sorry. Why can I not go through here? Because I have to go around the back way? Okay. Inspecting the shore at the moment, you see. Things must be done in order. Oh, this is inaccessible to me. Well, very well. Let me go this way. What's this? Inspecting ruins with my reluctant partner, Kim. How are you doing, Kim? Do you enjoy this? I'm enjoying this. Ancient paint is peeling off the roof of this shaded bench covered in rust. Ooh, what's this? Is this another blank wall? Let me look at this blank wall. Let me look at it.
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other.
Look, Kim, even more bullet holes. Something definitely gone down here. Why this many bullet holes? Okay. Visual calculus, though. I was just discussing that, but I currently left myself without a minus to it, I think, right? Anyway, Kim, look at this.
Correct. The density of the bullet holes is unusual.
Yeah.
Even in a general average bullet hole frequency in Martinez sense. Grim affairs.
Lieutenant examines the wall closely. Indeed, continue.
Meaning, this is a lot of bullet holes.
Yes.
Looks like fully automatic rifle fire. Something you don't see these days.
He brushes the wall with his hand. Why not? Say nothing, just nod. I mean, why not? Yeah, it's because we're not allowed to use automatic weapons anymore. I'm pretty sure I remember seeing a thing about that, right? Someone said something about that. But let's just get a refresher. Kim, refresh me.
The manufacturing and sale of automatic rifles was curtailed after the revolution.
Yes.
The destructive power of such tools proved to be too much. We do need to retain some humanity in this world.
Indeed. Okay, I'm going to walk away for a second just so I can double-check my clothing. Let me just do that real quick. I need as much visual calculus as I can get. Let's see here. There is nothing I can do to boost my visual calculus, it turns out. And this is not surprising. I actually get empathy for carrying this thing around. And Inland Empire. Man, it seems dangerous not to be carrying this around, but if I guess I'm just exploring, I should have the... It's fine. It's fine. Anyway, let's try this check. Why this many bullet holes? Bullet holes in the plaza, bullet holes in the backyard. Know about the revolution.
A row of ghostly shades stand facing the wall.
Whoa.
There are many of them. A dozen at least. Their heads lowered and eyes blindfolded. It's quiet. No sound. No movement.
Yeah, of course not, given that it's not actually happening right now. This is the past. I'm just analyzing it with my detective brain. Continue.
10 meters away, other shades are lined up in an orderly manner. Automatic rifles primed. A gust of wind blows by. The coats of the firing squad flap slowly in the breeze. A single person stands on the side.
A single person. And these uniforms, I recognize this uniform. This is Renee's outfit. So these are the royalists executing communists, I assume, yes? Continue.
Snowflakes fall on the wooden planks and the surrounding sand dunes, covering the land with the white of innocence.
Oh. This wasn't here a second ago. That's quite an image. Their faces are almost distorted, but I suppose they're in the process of being shot to death, so that's understandable. Look at the grin on this guy. Manic. Huh. Continue.
A long time has passed since the moment of this fusillading. Rain and brine have since washed all the blood away. Not a trace remains.
Except for the holes. What is this?
The abundance of bullet holes leads to two options. Either an inordinate amount of executions were performed here, or they did not use a conscience round, where only one soldier has the loaded rifle. Looks like this was a mass execution with everyone fully armed.
A conscience round. The thing about a conscience round, right? You'd have to absolutely, if they're using automatic rifles, it's not that surprising, but like you'd have to all shoot at every single person to be executed. I've never witnessed an execution, obviously, but like there's always the mental image of the executioners holding their guns directly towards those to be executed and just firing that direction, and it's just a wall of bullets, and if anything, that direction dies. But clearly, that's not how it worked. Huh. Look at the people against the wall.
A host of men, probably in everyday clothes, ragged from the conflict and covered in dust. They were not sitting, a common practice for executions in some nations, as demonstrated by the height level of the bullet holes.
True. Continue.
They stand, facing the wall. It's impossible to discern any details about their personality or background.
There wouldn't be anything left at this point, not with how much time has passed. All there's left is the holes from the things that passed through them and around them. Facing the wall. I mean, they're not, but never mind that. Look at the line of soldiers.
7 men in combat uniforms and dark coats, holding automatic rifles aimed at the people. Soldiers from some side. But from which one?
Well, my brain has imagined it to be the fascist side, but I don't know. Look at the person standing on the side.
The commandant. The one who gives the order. Machine gun fire crackling through the air. The lights of the muzzle flashes dancing on his face.
This is his face, isn't it? Based on the hat, this is the face of the one ordering the execution. That's why the manic grin. Oh. Oh. I mean, it's the same hat as the people in the firing squad, so it could be one of the executioners, but the head angle. Kim, who was in this execution?
I don't know. I don't know who died here, lined up beside that horrible wall. It could have been any of the parties involved in the revolution.
At first, the lieutenant doesn't say a word. He just stares at the wall. I don't know, he says finally. Continue.
Perhaps the ones executed here were the loyalist conservatives, killed by the communists at the start of the Civil War. Or it could have been the communists, put to death during the last stretch of the conflict by the coalition forces.
I suppose those are the two main options. Continue.
It could even have been the employees of the failed R&D center down the coast, as their building was taken over by the revolutionaries.
Ah, I see. Continue.
Or maybe...
What about the coalition? The so-called moralists? The people from the coalition. I can read. The so-called moralists.
Yeah. It's very unlikely the coalition forces were the ones who died here. They were always the last ones against the wall.
I didn't think that was what I was asking. Well, I guess maybe that is what I was asking, given that I was asking after who was executed. I was more wondering if they were the ones who were doing the executions, but that wasn't so much the moralist approach, was it? It was to shell from the bay where there was very little risk of retaliation. And I mean, who can really blame them under the circumstances, but, well, no, I'm sure a lot of people can blame them. Continue.
To be honest, if a coalition member was anyone in this situation, it was a commandant, the superior giving the orders.
Right. Goodbye. Leave. Goodbye. We're saying goodbye to the shades, huh?
A cold sea wind blows away the figures.
And... Interesting. It's been a while since I had that happen. Not since the inspection of the hanged man, but... Striking. The sign says, Entrée interdite. Interdite. I don't know. Interdite. It probably means no entry allowed or something like that. An old ticket taker booth, no longer in operation. But there's planks here. Let me inspect. I gotta go around? Oh, because there's a hole here. That makes sense. It's far too dangerous. Okay. It's pallets. Nice. Money and tear. Beautiful. I got them. And there's a box over here. What have we got in the box? More tear. Beautiful. Excellent. I will never go hungry again. I don't eat. I don't know why I said that. Give me that money. I got really long arms, apparently. Approximately 15-foot arms. Very impressive. What's this? Inspect. The door is not only barred shut, it is inaccessible. I suppose with all the snow piled up. I mean, you can move that sort of thing, but it's not really worth it with the barring of the shut. What's this? Fallen peepo. I'm sorry, a peepo? What's a peepo? +2 logic, -1 perception. Take all. Explain, what is peepo? Ultimate peak focus, +2 logic. Eyes on the road, -1 perception. The small wire framing inside this futuristic-looking fallen peepo hat gives it the aerodynamic shape of a swoop skier's helmet, but none of its protective qualities. Covers the wearer's ears and eyebrows to bring down the drag coefficient. Just let me try it on. I'm guessing I will not be replacing my Fruggles with it, but let's just... That's a peepo. I see. It's mirrored left to right, and so I was trying to parse how it was a hat? That's a peepo. It does make my head look all squishy. -1 perception, +2 logic. I guess good to know in case I need a whole bunch of logic at some point, but for now, there we go. Okay, cool. Thank you for that. Anything else up here? I guess that was the thing I was trying to inspect from the road below, huh? And unfortunately, there's not a fast way around. I'm gonna have to trot all the way down. Well, so be it. It's already nearly 3 o'clock. But I guess time does pass quickly when you talk to people. I was gonna say when you're wandering around, but that's not true at all. Time doesn't pass at all when you're wandering around, unless you happen to stop and stare at a line of bullet holes for a while. What's this? People paid money to park here? No one would pay now. Well, no, but times have changed significantly. Significantly. Things are not as they once were. That much is certainly clear. All right. I have thoroughly investigated this coast. I am satisfied. Let's go back. There is this boardwalk area up here, and I do wish to check it out. Wait. Morel? Are you Morel? Let me look at this first, though. Tiny cages, carefully constructed. Oh. Crab cages? Maybe? Hello? This may be Morel and his compatriot. Hang on, I'm gonna go look at the green thing first. Green thing first. Look at it. Lots of people out there miss the good old days. These soggy logs smell of ignition fluid. They won't line up. Trying to make a fire in the middle of light snow. Well, good luck with that, I guess. Hello, are you Morel?
Here we go.
There he
Nice
is.
and easy. No way out, little guys. Not out of this jam.
That is quite the crocodile hunter accent you have there, my friend. Morel the cryptozoologist. We found him. Continue.
There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is arranging some netting. It looks like some kind of trap. He notices you.
He certainly did. Continue.
Who's there? Oh, the police.
That's me.
Hello, officers.
Hello.
His self-conscious enthusiasm renders his movements ungainly. He looks like your understanding of a scientist.
Okay, thank you, composure. Continue.
Is that the police? Why are the police here?
Gary, the crypto-fascist. The crypto-fascist? What's a crypto-fascist? It is the police. Hello, we are here.
Don't worry, Gary. I'll handle it.
You must be Morel the cryptozoologist. It says so right there.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
You don't sound like there's any pleasure involved at all. Continue.
That's sarcasm. He takes no pleasure from your appearance.
You don't seem too happy to see the RCM. Lena sent me. She's been really worried about you and is waiting for you to get back. I mean, this is why I'm here. Do we want to pry into why he doesn't like to see the police? I mean, this is going to be the only opportunity I get to ask about it, I suppose. He's not like he's being subtle about it. Sure, let's ask.
Oh, no. It's all right. I'm just busy.
He glances at the cylinder.
What's this about?
Anyway, is it Lena or Lena? I don't honestly remember. If she told me, she probably did when I first spoke to her. Anyway, your wife sent me.
Hey, of course. Thank you for passing along the message.
Oh, sure.
That damn water lock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the 881.
Your accent, I tell you, that's quite something. R81. Well, it's been fixed. It's been fixed. Continue.
The 881 is a raised motorway that separates Martinez from Jamrock. The labyrinth of streets underneath it makes it difficult to pass. Not like walking over a nice waterlock.
Yeah, it would be more convenient. Yeah, that was me. I broke the water lock with my motor carriage, but it's fixed now. You can go back. The water block's been fixed. It was fine when I crossed it. Withhold the whole story. I am not going to withhold the whole story. I don't withhold much of anything. It was me. I did it. I'm sorry.
You broke the water lock with a motor carriage? But there was a billboard in the canal.
Was there?
Not a vehicle. It said Samaran Butter.
I missed that because I never tried to go south before the water lock got fixed. That's on me. He looks south. I guess you're right. It was really the sign's fault. Anyway, you can go back now. No, it was all me. I caused your delay, and I'm sorry, but you can return now. This is my opportunity to be sorry, cop. But I could also just blame it on the Samaran Butter billboard, I suppose. I assume that I also damaged the billboard. No, it was me. It was me. I'm sorry.
Did he say we can go back now?
Yes, Gary, that's what I said.
Yes, Gary. We can go soon. If you see Lena, tell her I won't be long.
Lena, okay. He turns to you. I was wrong both times. Continue.
Sir, your wife is waiting for you.
It's true.
I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait.
Phasmid?
Then we're going.
Is that what they were calling? Is that what Lena was calling it before? He refastens a bit of netting that has come loose in the wind. Okay, continue.
His hands are large and weather-worn, but also used to delicate, precise work.
Tell me about this phasmid you're looking for. Tell me more about these traps. Lena seems pretty eager for you to return. How did you become a cryptozoologist? I'll get going. Tell me about the phasmid. I'm curious.
Well, first of all, it's damn difficult to find, which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for it.
I suppose so. What makes it so difficult to find? How big is this phasmid? Why are you so interested in this stick bug? Aren't there more sensational animals out there? What have you discovered about it so far? Well, what makes it so difficult to find?
Good question. Being a phasmid of the order Phantasmodea, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as plant matter. In this case, the reeds.
He looks around.
An awful lot of reeds around, aren't there?
I mean, you do have a point. I hadn't really noticed, but yes, there are. Continue.
And I suspect it may have also developed other specialized techniques to protect itself from predators or scientists in our present case.
Yeah, I suppose. Why are you so sure that it's here, I wonder? What sort of specialized techniques is the phasmid using to hide itself?
It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defenses that allow it to interfere with animal perception, impeding pattern recognition, confusing the visual cortex.
So you're not able to find it because it has emitted some kind of chemical that has rendered you unable to see it specifically. It's an impressive trick. Continue.
But I cannot describe how these defenses work, much less how they evolve, without studying a live specimen.
I mean, that tracks, but when you haven't inspected a live specimen, that does imply that you have a very active imagination. How big is this phasmid?
I'm expecting it to be quite giant.
Really?
One known species of phasmid, called the Megaphasmodea zoensis, is about the size of a grown man's forearm.
He leaves the conclusion up to you. The fact that one member of this one species in this particular family of insects is the size of a man's forearm doesn't mean much in the case of insects, though, does it? I feel like there's a lot of types of insects where their size ranges completely wildly. But, well, in any case, why are you so interested in this stick bug? Or aren't there more sensational animals out there? Yeah, that one.
Typical rookie assumption.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Insects are much more sophisticated creatures than those unversed in zoology give them credit for.
He flashes you a sideways smile. I mean, I'm sure he's used to this sort of questioning all over the place. Continue.
Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian phasmid would be the apex of any cryptozoologist's career. But to study it and its defenses, find out how it stayed hidden so long.
He shakes his head. Okay, well, what have you discovered about it so far?
Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all our information is based on first and third-hand accounts.
Why did you skip second? So no one's ever found one.
Not yet. That's what makes it a cryptid.
He holds up an index finger. Your definition of cryptid is a creature that no one has found yet? Huh. That's a remarkably positive way of thinking. Continue.
Just out of curiosity, if there's no proof of its existence, how do you know it's real?
I figured you were going to speak up sooner or later. The lieutenant interjects. Continue.
I know it's real.
The cryptozoologist says, brusquely enough that even he seems taken aback by it. Okay, continue.
It's clear that his obsession with the phasmid is driven by something more than the pure pursuit of scientific advancement.
That does appear to be the case. Continue.
By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than mere superstition.
He says this, gathering himself. Lena said that there has been a sighting of it here in Martinez. Maybe the Insulindian phasmid has died out? Well, she did say there's been a sighting of it.
Yes, the most recent sighting was by a couple of teenagers along the coast here. That's what brought us to Martinez specifically.
Teenagers. Who have I met that qualifies as a teenager? Cindy's probably older than teenage, I'm guessing. I don't know for a fact. I think that just leaves Kuno and Kuno S. They're probably teenagers. Is that who saw the ghost insect? Because if so, I'm not sure I trust their account. Continue.
It's the first credible sighting in several decades.
Credible.
Admittedly, it's an unusual location for this species, but with all the sewage runoff upstream, it probably doesn't matter much anymore.
Well, given that we just discussed the fact that there was a recent sighting, you're not going to buy this idea of it having died out, but let's at least ask about it. Has it?
I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's generally thought to be capable of parthenogenesis.
Parthenogenesis. Should I know what that means? Also, he shakes his head vigorously and pronounces extraordinary creature as crocodile hunter as possible. Continue.
He means asexual reproduction.
Sure.
The females of the species don't need to mate to produce viable eggs. This makes it easier for a species with a small population to survive.
Yeah, I mean, if you're physically capable of it, that would be pretty useful. That's pretty clever. Females reproducing without males, a travesty, a crime against passion and common sense. This arouses no special feelings in me. No, I'll humor him. That's pretty clever.
Yes, the Insulindian phasmid is a very clever insect. That's why it's so damn difficult to catch. But as a scientist, I'll try my best to remain dispassionate.
Fair enough, I suppose. You do seem to have to resist pretty strongly. Tell me more about the traps.
Well, they may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly.
Lena.
So I'm sure they'll do the trick.
You pronounced it Lena this time. Does it actually shift? Did it change between pronunciations? He points at the cage of mesh and wiring on the ground. Lena designed the traps. How do the traps work? What are you using as bait? Let me ask you something else. She designed them?
Yes.
He says with some pride. How do they work?
Simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the funnel and, having eaten its fill, can get back out.
Okay, but you don't actually know how big they are, right? Continue.
At least, that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's delicate exoskeleton.
Which you're assuming that it has. What are you using as bait?
Locusts. Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course. But we've hypothesized that the Insulindian phasmid might occasionally prey on other insects.
He gestures toward the traps. So, not only do we not know what it looks like or how big it is, but even the other species of its variety, which may or may not be made up, eat plants. But you're still using live bait for reasons? Continue.
Inside the traps, a number of locusts crawl and tumble over one another in a tiny, chittering swarm.
Fascinating.
A meat-eating stick insect, Does it pretend to be the reeds as part of its ambush behavior? This seems unlikely.
It does, doesn't it, logic? Like, I'm pretty good at the logic, and that seems unlikely. A carnivorous stick insect seems unlikely. That one.
Thank you for your opinion. We have also included plant material in the traps to satiate your skepticism.
Okay, well, first off, when I asked what you were baiting them with, you probably should have mentioned that. Second off, we are surrounded by plant material. What makes yours more appealing aside from the locusts, in case they're not meat-eating? Well, whatever. What will you do if these traps don't work?
They'll work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis, using locusts as bait, accounts for the failure of previous efforts by other teams, which use plants. We have given this some thought.
You couldn't catch them with plant traps, or other people couldn't catch them with plant traps. So your assumption there is, well, they were using the wrong sort of bait. Well, I mean, it's worth a test for sure, right? Scientific method and all that. Try stuff, see if it works. Continue.
The traps do seem to be deftly and thoughtfully constructed. It's clear the cryptozoologist's wife knows what she's doing.
Understood. Let me ask you about something else.
Yes. What?
How did you become a cryptozoologist?
I've just always liked animals and puzzles. Searching for cryptids is a bit of both.
So you're living your childhood dream. Why not just be a zoologist? Real animals are puzzling too. Have you ever discovered a cryptid? Thanks for explaining that. Now, how about something else? Your childhood dream, yes.
It's not child's play. Just because I have to traipse through the mud every so often.
His eyes narrow. That's not what I said, but okay, sure. You are hypersensitive about people criticizing your career because a lot of people think that you're chasing imaginary creatures, because essentially that's what you're doing, but you don't believe they're imaginary. I get you. Why not, zoologist? Real animals are puzzling too. I mean, that's true.
Real? I know you think one is a respectable profession, while the other is superstition. Everyone does.
He scoffs at the concept. I don't. It's a profession just like any other. Honestly, being a cryptozoologist trumps most of the garbage I've seen people do. Cryptozoology does seem like a lot of wishful thinking. I mean, if you can make a living doing it, I support you fully in this. I'm going with number 2 on this one.
My methods do not differ from other scientists. I simply draw upon a wider variety of evidence. And I have more hope that something truly surprising might happen.
A hum and a nod. He seems to have liked that answer. And has anything truly surprising ever happened to you?
No, as I said, I have yet to catch a cryptid, although I have come close. Close enough to keep trying.
I have yet to catch a cryptid, if that's what you're getting at, but I have come close. That response that he gave assumed that I'd asked if he'd found one first. Ha ha! Voice lines. Continue.
Interesting. Something for later. This close call.
Indeed. What kinds of evidence do you use? So you've never discovered a cryptid. Evidence? What kind of evidence do you use?
Everything from forgotten regional lore to newspaper accounts, like the one that brought us here, to look for the phasmid. I keep a very open mind.
I don't doubt it. Continue.
He's interested in things that people believe that scientists don't.
There's my morale again. Man, art cop, it's amazing. Considering how negative it is to all those around me whenever it comes up, it's kind of surprising that. You think other scientists don't listen to ordinary people enough?
Most establishment scientists only care about reputation and remuneration. Not real research. And certainly not the truth. They're a cowardly lot. And both the field and basement archives can be dangerous places.
I suppose so. Most establishment scientists care about remuneration. That is getting paid, right? Based on my faltering knowledge of vocabulary. So you don't get paid. Are you a retiree? How long have you been a cryptozoologist? I don't get to ask that question. So you've never discovered a cryptid?
No. Very few cryptids are ever discovered, and not for a lack of trying. To stay hidden is a cryptid's primary quality. It's even in the name, cryptid.
I suppose. So how many cryptids have been found?
Of the list of cryptids kept by the Cryptozoological Society of Chemney, which is 4,082 items long, About 2,000 have been confirmed as hoaxes.
Just under half of them. I can't help but notice that you didn't answer the question. Continue.
2 are categorized as confirmed discoveries.
Uh-huh.
The rest are in differing stages of discovery, refutation, and data collection.
Only 2 have proven to be real. I mean, if you're working in the field of cryptozoology, I feel like you have to expect this kind of numbers. Only 2.
Yes, the Chateau Quan forest pygmy, who turned out to be an extinct species of primate, and a cave salamander from Yugograd, who is, honestly, quite unremarkable. It's in a zoo somewhere.
Interestingly, you seem deeply uninterested in that species now that it's been discovered, which I guess tracks based on what I know of your attitude towards this work. Continue.
We cryptozoologists are brutally honest with ourselves. More so even than the public. With cryptids, most cryptids are hoaxes or they are never found. That does not mean we should stop searching.
2 out of 4,000 is not even 1%. Not approvingly. Then the Insulindian phasmid will be the 3rd. I don't even know what to say. That's a small number of discoveries. Support this man. Support him. The 3rd it shall be.
Indeed. If our expedition is successful, every paper in the world will report on it. From Revachol to Dushantu. It will be a zoological miracle.
He does not smile, just looks you in the eye. It's a forceful gaze. I suppose it's the basic principle that he's operating under. The chances are very good he'll never ever find it. But maybe, maybe he will. Continue.
The hair on your arms stand up. Electricity. Sounds like reeds hissing.
Does it now? Continue.
He has clearly done his math on this. There is no surprising him or swaying his opinion.
Yes, I'm sure he knows all the ramifications of what it is he's up to. Thanks for explaining that. Now, about something else.
Yes?
Lena seems pretty eager for you to return.
And I'm eager to return to her, I assure you. But I can't leave before we finish with these traps.
Okay, continue.
My wife understands that just as well as anyone.
He looks south, where Lena would be. Continue.
Come on, Morale. We've been soaking out here for days. It's time to go back.
Gary seems to lack the faith, it seems. Continue.
And leave the traps? Absolutely not.
He yells in response.
I won't let Lena down.
Fair. You recognize that the two of you are roughly 15 feet apart, and you don't really need to shout that much, but anyway, continue.
Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs if we don't dry out soon.
I didn't know the phasmid was so important to Lena. Come on, you're doing this for yourself, not her. I feel like you should just send Gary back on his own, maybe? I don't know. I didn't know the phasmid was so important to Lena.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it.
What?
A verified sighting, on record. One of only 4 this century, and it's hers.
Really? She sighted the phasmid? She didn't tell me that.
Yes. That's how we first came to know one another, in fact.
That's how you met your wife.
But that's her story to tell, not mine.
He coughs, then continues.
Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian phasmid together. I can't abandon course now.
Another cough into his fist this time. He's not doing so hot out here in the rain, huh? I mean, it stopped raining, but he's got to be soaked to the bones. Maybe you could go back to the whirling, warm up, come back to check on the traps later? You should just give up on this bug hunt. Okay, I understand. I don't give up on things either. I mean, I don't typically. But let's at least float the idea of checking in with Lena, right?
No. The traps need to be monitored on a regular schedule. What would we do if the phasmid were to starve while we were sipping tea at the hostel?
We'll come back in an hour or something. It's not that... We'll continue.
He's dead set on this.
Apparently, yes, he is. Continue.
I could go for some trap setting.
What if we check the traps for you? Interesting idea. Let's talk about specific cryptids, though.
All right. What cryptids precisely? I usually discuss these things with specialists, so I don't know what.
He eyes you skeptically, and as he should. I haven't gotten Lena to really tell me about any specifics. I'm guessing this is going to be a failure because I haven't. Continue.
We would have to discuss. He wants to say. but decides against it.
Which cryptid did you almost cast? You said before that you almost caught one. Just tell me about a cool cryptid, any cryptid. Enough tales then, let's change the subject. Tell me about the one you almost caught.
A willow person. It's a long story. One non-specialist would find rather dull.
Well, continue.
Willow people? Not at all.
What are willow people? Let's talk about a different cryptid. Not at all that you find it dull? I'm not sure. What are willow people?
They're not people, really. Some argue they aren't really animals, as they seem to have evolved directly from trees.
He says it in a self-explanatory, everyday manner. Evolved from trees. Continue.
They're very, very thin, almost flat in fact, and can camouflage themselves easily, wrapping themselves around trees and blending in with the tree bark. In that way, they're not too dissimilar from the phasmid we're looking for here.
That actually is fairly similar. Wait, so I may have seen these willow people without knowing it? How did you almost catch a willow person? Wait, what?
You probably have.
Probably. Enthusiastic. How did you almost catch a willow person?
Gary and I painted an entire grove's worth of trees in slow-drying paints. It was a bright lavender colour. I was hoping one of the willow people would get paint on it and not be able to camouflage itself.
Why were you assuming they wouldn't be clever enough to see the difference in color and not try to camouflage there? Continue.
After waiting in hiding for hours, I saw a figure slip from one of the trees, a lavender shadow, dashing through the grove.
And then?
I chased it with a net. Not very elegant. You can't be elegant in the field. And, well, it was faster than me.
I see, but you saw it, essentially. Continue.
A lavender shadow.
Kim smirks. I guess that's understandable. Continue.
I know you think we were snacking on funny mushrooms. It's easier to mock someone and to admit that the world might be more interesting than you've imagined.
Given that I have nothing to lose either direction, I feel like it's all right to entertain this concept. Continue.
Furthermore,
He raises his finger.
I'm not saying it was a confirmed sighting. I'm painfully aware of what goes into verifying such things. There is a serious possibility that I saw a squirrel or a trick of the light. I am my own harshest critic.
Still, it makes for an okay story as these things go, huh? Continue.
He makes it a real point here to sound falsifiable.
Right, because scientist. And Lena's sighting of the phasmid, is that... Yeah, let me ask.
Confirmed.
He replies quickly.
It's 100% verified and meets all the standards of an authentic cryptid sighting.
Just tell me about a cool cryptid, any cryptid. I'm guessing he's not going to be into that, as he considers his role as being a scientist. He takes it very seriously. But if I can get him to be excited about something, that would be neat. I'm just guessing it won't work. Let's try.
No offense, officer, but I'm not much of a pedagogue. I don't know what I would have done if Lena hadn't persuaded me to go back to field research. You should ask her if you want interesting stories.
I tried. It didn't work. Continue.
Me? I'm not a people person, unless you haven't noticed. And I don't make a good lecturer. My strength lies in field work and persistence.
He brushes an errant strand of hair from his eye. Okay, understood. Enough tales then, I suppose. Let's change the subject.
By all means.
He coughs and wipes his mouth. Let's get this guy out of the... Well, here's the thing. I haven't talked to his dude over here, so if we convince them to leave, I wonder if they'll just leave? That said, what if we check the traps for you?
I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer.
He looks at you with obvious surprise. Cryptozoology and detective work are very similar. Chaos is my method. I am its scion. I'm all in with this cryptid shit. I'm hooked. I don't think he's going to be particularly convinced by that, and Kim's definitely going to give me a good old eye roll. I wouldn't blame him at all. Chaos is my method. I mean, that's not necessarily untrue, but yeah, sure. It's not dissimilar from detective work, right?
Yes, indeed. Both require a great deal of research, attention to detail, and, above all, persistence.
Don't I know it? My volition has the scars to show for it. What are these traps? Where are these traps? What do I do if there's a phasmid in one of the traps? What if I encounter the phasmid in the wild? Where are these traps? I mean, they're right behind him.
There are 4 in total. One is to the south, on this little peninsula, by the boathouses there.
Okay.
It's very near.
He points south. Okay, gotcha.
Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. It's behind a small sand dune there. On your way to the old radio tower, after the church.
Land's End. Okay, so probably as far as you can go that direction. Would seem to make sense. Continue.
The third is set near the canal, where you crossed,
So to speak.
by a concrete slab. A big thicket of reeds going up the slope, and among them,
He gestures to the trap in front of him. Gotcha. Okay.
you should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This one's more of a technicality, but still, better safe and stupid than sorry.
I suppose that makes sense. Continue.
That seems like a lot. Do we really have time for this extracurricular venture?
The pursuit of knowledge is its own justification. What? Aren't you having fun? Aside from which, Kim, I would think that you would see the benefit of convincing this man to go back to check in on his wife, to get him out of the rain so he doesn't die of pneumonia or whatever. Like, admittedly, I can understand why you're hesitant to agree to this, but like, I tried to play with your bit. Admittedly, I flubbed it horrifically, but like, try to play with my bit. Come on now. And if we're doing a bit, the pursuit of knowledge is its own justification. If I say, well, aren't you having fun? This guy's not going to be convinced of anything. Although I am curious to see what Kim would say, I'm going to go ahead and say the pursuit of knowledge is its own justification.
Is it?
He doesn't look too convinced, but the small shrug indicates, why not? What do I do if there's a phasmid in one of the traps?
Bring it to me at once. Just make sure the trap is closed tight.
Sure, continue.
He's not comfortable with the possibility that you'll claim the find, but he's lying about this even to himself.
He's not comfortable with the possibility that you're claiming to find, but he's lying about this even to himself. Huh. He doesn't like the idea that I might claim it, but what do you mean he's lying about it even to himself? What if I encounter the phasmid in the wild?
That's highly unlikely, officer.
I know.
But in the event you do, I'll spray you with a pheromone mixture I developed.
Gross. He takes out a small white spray can. Continue.
It's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite potent. Will last you about a week.
Oh boy. Lay it on me. Lay it on me thick. Present your armpit. I don't want this, thank you very much. All right, sure, man. Sure, I'm gonna smell terrible. I probably are. No, listen. I already smell terrible. I have it on good authority that I smell terrible. Even when I took a shower, I still smelled terrible. Go ahead. How could it be worse?
Wise choice.
Wise choice, he says. He douses you with the odd-smelling spray and then gives you a satisfied nod. Great, continue.
This is the smell of dying reeds, of longing crumbling into the water.
Uh-huh, cool.
I hope you're not buying this. He dispenses it without letting you touch the canister, so it would be precious like holy water.
The lieutenant wrinkles his nose. Sorry, continue.
It is precious. A single dose cost me 50 real to develop.
Wow.
Not that I expect you to understand self-financing one's own research.
You might be surprised. He looks at the lieutenant with disdain, then puts the spray back into his pocket. We don't really get paid that much. I mean, more than you. Anything's more than zero. But anyway, I'm ready. Let's get to it.
Right. Which means you two can pack up and go back to the whirling.
Apparently I should have talked to Gary first. Continue.
Finally, someone's talking sense.
Continue.
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions, now's the time to ask. We'll be gone once you get to it.
Sure. I'll get going then. Great. So they're going to be here for the time being, but as soon as I go anywhere else and come back, they will not be here anymore. So I think I'm going to have to talk to Gary right now, but not right now, in fact. We'll do it next time because I'm already past an hour. Oh, boy. So I guess I got some traps to check. That's interesting. That's interesting. I'm guessing we won't find anything, but so is the cryptozoologist, so I suppose that's no surprise there. But yeah, we'll talk to Gary next time, and then, wow, I talked to him for nearly an hour, didn't I? I'm really surprised that Kim's not more disgusted with me on that front, but who knows, maybe he is, and just is declining to say anything. Such seems to be his MO a lot of the time. Anyway, thank you for watching. Next time, did Gary just say, did you ever wish Hjelmdal was a real place? He's a Hjelmdal fanatic. Maybe. I'm assuming. Guess we'll find out next time, though, huh? Because that's what we're doing next time. We're going to talk to Gary. He might be unpleasant. He seems like he might be unpleasant. But we'll find out next time, okay? I'll see you next time.